Something strange is happening with the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and it's not the kind of upgrade you notice on a spec sheet. Samsung is quietly changing how this phone behaves, how it protects you, and even how it limits itself. These aren't flashy leaks. They're subtle shifts with consequences that could redefine how premium phones feel over the next few years. If you enjoy digging into the hidden side of tech, the decisions brands don't put on slides or billboards, hit like, share this with someone who loves overanalyzing gadgets, and subscribe. This channel is all about uncovering the quiet changes that end up mattering way more than the loud ones. At first glance, the Galaxy S26 Ultra looks like another careful refinement year. Same Ultra name, familiar shape, familiar promises. But under that calm surface, Samsung is testing ideas that feel almost cautious and bold at the same time. The biggest example is the new privacy display, because this isn't just a feature, it's a shift in how Samsung thinks about personal space in a public world. When you're looking at the screen head-on, everything feels normal. Colors pop, brightness stays strong, nothing looks reduced. But tilt the phone even slightly away from you, and the display practically disappears. To someone sitting next to you, it's like the screen shuts off. Not blurred, not dimmed, gone. What makes this unsettling in a good way is how automatic it becomes. The phone doesn't wait for you to remember to toggle it. Open certain apps, walk outside, sit in a crowded place, and the display adapts on its own. This feels less like a privacy tool and more like a behavioral change. Samsung isn't just protecting your messages, it's quietly training users to expect their phone to guard information without asking. The long-term implication is interesting because once people get used to this level of passive protection, regular displays may start to feel exposed. The catch? This kind of OLED tech isn't cheap, and it raises questions about durability, repair costs, and whether Samsung will keep it exclusive to justify ultra pricing. Then there's the camera story, which on the surface sounds boring until you realize what Samsung is actually backing away from. For years, Galaxy cameras chased a certain Samsung look. Bright skin, heavy processing, photos that looked impressive but not always honest. With the S26 Ultra, the algorithm shift toward realistic skin tones signals a quiet admission. Samsung seems to be saying that pushing computational photography too far broke trust. Now the goal isn't to impress at first glance, but to match what your eyes actually see. That's a subtle downgrade in spectacle, but a massive upgrade in credibility. This matters long-term because it affects how people judge photos. When images stop looking artificially perfect, users start trusting the camera for memories instead of social media flexing. It also suggests Samsung is optimizing less for viral comparisons and more for daily use. The risk here is that side-by-side demos might look less dramatic, which could hurt marketing. But the reward is a camera people rely on, not just admire. And once that trust is rebuilt, it's hard for competitors to win it back with gimmicks. Design is where Samsung's quiet restraint becomes even clearer. The new two-layer camera island looks like a visual tweak, but it's really a compromise in physical form. By stacking the camera bump instead of spreading it, Samsung keeps the body slim while accepting a thicker camera zone. It's an admission that physics still wins. Sensors need space. Lenses need depth. Instead of pretending otherwise, Samsung is embracing the bump and trying to make it feel intentional, even elegant. The return of metal camera rings ties into this mindset. Plastic rings were practical and cheaper, but they made the phone feel less serious up close. Metal rings don't change performance, but they change perception. They signal durability, confidence, and permanence. This is Samsung quietly repositioning the Ultra as a tool you keep, not just a device you upgrade yearly. At the same time, thicker camera areas mean cases will get bulkier, pockets will feel it more, and the phone's balance may subtly shift. These are the trade-offs no keynote mentions. What's really interesting is how these changes connect. Better privacy encourages more real-world use. More honest cameras encourage less stage photography. A more deliberate design encourages longer ownership. None of this screams innovation, but together it paints a picture of Samsung slowing down on spectacle and doubling down on trust. The quiet downgrade here is excitement. Fewer jaw-dropping moments. The hidden upgrade is confidence. The Galaxy S26 Ultra doesn't feel like it's trying to win this year. It feels like it's setting rules for the next few. And that raises an uncomfortable question. If this is Samsung holding back, what happens when they decide to push again? And which of these quiet changes do you think will matter most once the hype fades and people actually live with the phone?